Hello, everyone. Welcome to the weekly Oracle reading. My name is Carolyn Marie Yakopich. If you're new to my channel, I am the founder of Soul Awakening School, and I help spiritual seekers zone in on their own intuition, claim their divine authority, and start to share their gifts in the world. And I am so excited to be here today because I feel like there has been a shift in energy. I feel like there's been an opening and there is a new direction for a lot of us that are here on this call right now. So what I'd like to do is center into the space so that we are grounded and present to receive the information coming through, whether you're watching or listening. So just take a moment to tune inward and take a deep breath in. Exhale out. Draw your energy from your head and into your body. Inhale through your nose. Exhale through your mouth. Relax deeper into your body. Again, inhale through your nose. Exhale through your mouth. Anchor and root from your tailbone into Mother Earth, really grounding yourself, being fully present in your body. Now we're going to spray the Palo Santo for clearing the energetic field and really opening us up into receiving the messages that are meant for us at this time. So I'll spray it through my aura and also transmit this energy into your aura through this transmission, clearing and coding and activating and asking Spirit to be present during this reading, that we may receive the messages meant for us at this time, that are in alignment with our soul and our highest expression, for the good of our own soul's evolution and for the good of all. And just remember that whatever feels resonant to you is something here for you. And if it does not resonate, use your own discernment, leave what does not resonate and take what does. So we're going to begin with the Starseed Oracle, my favorite deck. It's still my favorite deck. I just feel like there's so many messages that come through this deck. And so we'll ask what the current theme is for this week that we are working with. This popped right out of the deck. And there's another one waiting as well that just was sitting here. So the first card is Abundance. And it really does feel like there is a new wave of abundance coming in. So if you've been experiencing some lack mentality in your life, and maybe also not just the mentality of it, but experiencing, you might not have the numbers in the bank account that you want right now, or you might feel like you're just always trying to catch up. There is something coming in right now that is unexpected. So really, when it comes to abundance, it's not about projecting and wanting and visualizing and all of that. All of that is helpful, is to like really hone in on what it is that you want. But the first connection to bring us into an abundant state is gratitude. So really finding that space of gratitude for the things that are going right in your life right now, that is key. At the same time, it's like that at the beginning of this reading, I was sharing that there's this new wave of energy coming in. There's a lightness coming in. So if this is where you're at and you're feeling that, keep riding that flow of the lightness. If you are feeling like you are, in a little bit of a struggle when it comes to abundance, and there is a lot coming up around it for you, the key right now is to trust. The key is to come into gratitude and to connect with God, to connect with the divine, because that is the true source of abundance. It is not about us moving from our physical, logical mind and making things happen, because it takes longer. Remember, energy moves quicker than matter. So our frequency is what is imperative right now to work on. So if you're noticing yourself going down in how you're feeling when it comes to, it could be financial abundance, it could be friendship or relationship abundance, it could be your health, right? There could be all different layers when it comes to abundance. So just knowing that if we can come into presence and to connect with the divine, and remembering that we are cut from the same cloth, remembering that this is part of our divine birthright to be abundant on the earth. The entire inverted matrix, the entire world up until now has been programmed to be in the opposite state, in lack, in scarcity, in searching and reaching. And, it's like the competitiveness and the hustle and all of that. And all of that is crumbling. All of that is being deprogrammed at this time. So it is up to each one of us to work on uprooting those false narratives from our own consciousness, those false memories, false emotions related to the narratives, and remembering the truth of our divine birthright. And how we can remember that is to sit, be quiet, be still, and know. And when we come into that state of presence, connecting with God, the higher power of your understanding, God, Goddess, the universe, creator, source, really coming into that space of connection. When we pray, we're speaking to the higher power. And when we are meditating, we are receiving and being spoken to through our own intuition, right? And spirit is that form of intuition. So we are opening to that space of being abundant when we sit and meditate, when we pray, when we give thanks and gratitude. And remembering prayer comes from a space of gratitude. Prayer and being open to knowing who we truly are is a different state of prayer than coming from a space of fear, right? So gratitude, gratitude, gratitude. I've done this practice before. It's very helpful to write down 3 things that you're grateful for at the end of your day from that day. And then the next morning, make that part of your practice of reading those 3 things and reflecting from the night before to bring you back into that state of gratitude. Also, I spoke about this in a previous reading as well, about having an intention for your day. So it's really helpful to have an awareness intention each day because it keeps you accountable to staying conscious, because we go unconscious so often, right? And a main thing is like being unconscious means we're now in separation. Now we're in duality. We're not actually in a unified state of consciousness where we're connected into something higher, right? So we could be on the track where we're in the past and the future and the past and the future, and we're just on this like horizontal line that's not really evolving or moving anywhere, right? And this is part of the duality. It's like from one end to the next end, from one end to the next end. The moment we come into stillness and presence and we meditate or we bring ourselves back with our breath, with our awareness. So this is the key, right? That awareness practice that brings you back to conscious awareness, not the unconscious state. You're now in the vertical plane of existence where you're rooted in the earth and you're ascending up in your consciousness to connect to the higher power that's moving through you, within you, and all around you. So it really is important to now have these practices every single day where we are intentional about what we are doing in our day, right? That one intention, it could be one word, it could be a feeling that you want to invoke within you, because we have access to a wide range and variety of feelings. And if we felt them before, we can feel them again. So it's all about rehearsing a state of mind, a state of feeling, a state of consciousness to start to attract in a match to those thoughts, feelings, and then frequency that we are emitting. So I didn't even read the rest of what it says in this card, but it's so perfect. Fullness of source, fullness of God, Goddess, Creator, universe, filling your cup, right? Filling your cup with that. There's enough for all, right? And that is the opposite of what we've been taught. We've been taught that there's limited of everything, limited abundance, limited space for us to shine. But we know this is not true. We are all on this spiritual path knowing that there is enough for everyone, right? There's an abundance of all things. And where we choose to put our state of mind is what we will see. We will either see weeds or we will see flowers. It's our choice, okay? And then the last word here is open, staying open, right? It's like open to receive the blessings, open to receive the messages, open to receive the next steps. The number on this card also is a 7. I'm just trying to get it to zoom in. There we go. So the number is 7. 7 is our crown chakra. It is our connection. It is also this opening, right? Where we receive our intuition and then it comes through and then it anchors into our physicality so we can fully receive it. It is our connection to our own divinity. So much power. This is the theme right now, is abundance. So maybe you're focusing on this in your life right now. And this is the sign to keep focused on staying open to all possibilities beyond what you expect, beyond what you think is possible, because our limited mind usually does not create this big, wide open opportunity because we have been limited in the mind. So thinking beyond what we've ever imagined, right? And knowing that something even greater is on its way. Now, the cards supporting that, ooh, very interesting. Stepping stones. Take the next step. Let go of the old paradigm. Totally in alignment with that abundance card. Now, what I'm seeing here is that this is also the number 6. And so 6 is our arc line. We're in the month of June right now. And just know that these readings are timeless. So whenever you're listening to them, there will be something here for you. So if you catch this in a different month, it's all good. There's all, symbolism in numbers, no matter what month we're in. But we're talking about 6 right now. And 6 is the arc line, right? It's from earlobe to earlobe and over the forehead. It is our halo. And so I have a couple of videos I just posted. I actually have a meditation that helps to clear the arc line, which is where all of the Akashic records information is held. It is also where all of our memories, all of our imprints, all of our thought processes are. So what happens with the arc line, right? When we see ascended masters that have, or angels that have a beautiful bright white halo over their head, this is the purity of their consciousness. This is the purity of their presence connected to God, connected to the divine, being a channel and conduit for spirit. So when we see these bright halos, this is what we can work with within ourselves. Energetically, this halo is the nucleus of our aura. Our aura spans 9 feet in every direction. And when we move beyond that, it starts to work universally. But there is this nucleus of our aura, which is responsible for our projections, what we project into the world, right? And it comes from here, it comes from our thought processes. And then from this nucleus, it projects into our auric field, creating our frequency. And then our aura is what is responsible for bringing in an exact match to what we are projecting out. So clearing our arc line is really important. I'm going to link underneath the meditation that I shared for the month of June. There's also a short form tapping sequence that I shared in a short as well, and I'll link that below because all of these are supportive tools. Another thing I'll just speak about briefly is simple energy work with the intention of clearing. So even doing this, as I do this, I feel it. I feel it so much, right? So our heart is connected to our arms. Our hands are an extension of our heart. We have healing energy in our hands. We have chakra points in our hands, and they are very powerful for healing and clearing. And again, just being with an open heart, right? Being in that open state. And then from there, clearing yourself, working at really opening this area with the intention of being a clear vessel, right? So when we start to think too much, or we're scattered, or feeling anxious or overwhelmed or spaced out, all of this starts to get blocked. And when we're in that state of separation, that is when we are blocked as well, because we have resistance. We are not in that unified field. We're not in, a state of presence, because we are in duality. So once we get very clear, the arc line also represents a person at prayer. So a person at prayer, even when we do this, bringing the right and left hand together, it's bringing the hemispheres of the brain into balance by bringing two sides of the body together. You could do this with your feet as well, bringing them together. It's linking the body and linking the brain. So bringing the palms together just brings us into a state of stillness. A person at prayer is present. A person at prayer is sending out a focus that is direct. And that's another aspect of the arc line. It governs our focus, our concentration, our ability to concentrate, our ability to also be present and be direct. It also is responsible for receiving synchronicities. So that is one thing that is really powerful about the meditation that I shared. I did this practice for 40 days. I believe it was more than that. I think we did 2 rounds of the 40-day challenge with the same meditation back in 2022 when it was the year of the 6. So governing that number 6, right, of the arc line. And there were so many synchronicities, not just for me, but everyone that was involved in this challenge that was doing this daily practice, right? 40 days starts to shift a habit within your consciousness. If you go even further into 120 days, you start to take on the habit, that new habit, whatever that benefit of that meditation or that practice is, you start to become it and embody it on another level completely. So it is really powerful. So you may want to check out that video and that meditation and give it a try. You can start with 3 minutes, but the video itself is an 11-minute meditation. So yeah, all the info is there for you. I'll share it below. So now I want to get a message of what will support us deeper to get into the state of abundance and receivership of our divine birthright. And here we go. We have a few coming through. 3 cards. Okay. This card keeps coming up, Heaven on Earth. Okay. All right. So I'll go with that one first because it's popping out. So Heaven on Earth. I'm trying to get it. There we go. Okay. So we see just how beautiful this is to be in this space. All are invited. 5th dimension, new earth, spirit, and matter. So I've talked about that quite a bit. Spirit and matter, right? Our physical body is that earth element. It is our connection to the 3D realm. It is our connection to the earthly plane. It is our also connection to all the programs, all the patterns, all the memories, everything we've stored is in our physical body as a memory. And we can shift and change that. The more we do somatic work, the more we clear, the more we become more aware and more conscious, right? The more we do this inner work, the more we look at our shadow and accept it and love it and forgive it and integrate it to be part of the gifts that we share, right? So spirit and matter is really that aspect of being the conduit, being the channel, allowing space between the thoughts through meditation. When we come into stillness, there's gaps between the thought process. So instead of the mind going from here to there, to there, to there, they call it the monkey mind, right? In yoga, it's like popping everywhere. It's like we open our channel so that we move beyond our senses and we move beyond that aspect of being only connected to our physicality. We open to something beyond that. So we're moving beyond time and space. And now we've opened up into this field of possibility and potential where anything can be created. So we fully can call in that abundance, right? So this is a practice that is really helpful, like I said, to meditate. If you can do the practices that help you to move beyond physical matter, and you start to look at the energetics in your life, and from that state of energetic frequency, calling in what it is that you want to create in your life, what you want to manifest, what you want to live and embody within yourself, what you want to share with the world. The more you focus from that state of energy and frequency, the quicker it will come. And it may not come immediately. Like, I don't say quicker it'll come and there it shows up. It takes work. It takes consistency and repetition. Because if you think about all of the years that we have been programmed into a lack or a limitation mindset, or feeling unworthy, or having self-doubt, that's a lot of undoing, but we can get there quickly with the knowledge. We can get there quickly knowing, with the wisdom that we have, that all it takes is consistency and practice and focus, right? Using our arc line to focus, using our, body to come into stillness, to meditate, to be the vessel, to open to new possibilities. So also knowing it's like all are invited. We said that, right? It's like there's enough for everyone. There's enough for everyone. Just remembering that you are worthy. You are worthy to receive an abundance of gifts and an abundance of your desires, and everything that you are here to fulfill your soul's purpose, your soul's mission, to feel fulfilled in the world. Okay, the next card that came through was Universe when the three of them fell out, which I find amazingly interesting. So there is, trying to get away from having this glare. There we go. Keeps popping in and popping out. There we go. Okay, Universe. So you see this multidimensional being with the flower of life at their third eye, the golden light around their crown. And also the halo is showing up here too. Can you see the halo? I don't want to touch the image more than I have, because it might make it go out of out of the connection, out of the screen. So the universe. And I see a butterfly above the word universe as well. It means that we're in this transformational time. We're actually emerging out of the cocoon. We are in a continuous evolution where we have constant deaths and rebirths, and there are aspects of grieving the old self dying away, and there might be smaller deaths and rebirths along the way, and then bigger ones that take a little bit more space and time to move through, but this butterfly really symbolizes that a lot of us have emerged, have opened our wings. Like I said at the beginning of this video, it's like there is this freshness, this newness, this energy that is light that is coming in today. And I feel it just from yesterday to today, like from overnight. I'm feeling it so strongly. So maybe you can relate to that as well. I love that the other words on this card: wholeness, commune with all of life, micro and macrocosm, and also Metatron. So the angel Metatron is coming in as well, connecting into that light frequency. And really, again, it's like being open to the multidimensional realms, to remember that you're not alone. You're not alone on this journey. And any of the guides that you work with, or feel maybe you haven't worked with them, but you feel connected to them and close to them, you can you don't even have to sit in meditation. You can just come into presence, right? You don't have to close your eyes, and just call in someone that you work with if you want to be open to be connected to them in that moment in time. And there may be messages come through. There may be just the feeling of their presence in your space, which is enough for you to receive whatever it is that is there for you at that time. There's so much opening right now. The veil is so thin on the planet. And we really have access to connect into that multidimensional realm and all of the guides that are on our spirit team, right? So knowing that, yes, connecting to God is of utmost importance. And then there's all of those in our spirit team that are, cheering us on, holding the space for us, right? In the other realms. And those realms are here and now, as present as ever. And it's all about us being open to them, right? And acknowledging them. So it's not by chance that, you feel close to, say it's Mother Mary, you feel close to Mother Mary, and then you see an image of Mother Mary pop up somewhere, or you see a book that has Mother Mary on it, or Metatron maybe is for you coming in as well. Maybe you see the Metatron cube show up and you feel very connected to Metatron. This isn't by chance. These synchronicities are giving you, they're not even like, yes, clues at the beginning. It's like, oh, a clue, like this is leading me somewhere, but it's like they're keys and codes unlocking more information for us along our path of ascension. And ascension is really not going anywhere. Ascension is being our full cosmic nature, our full potential, our full divine authority and embodiment in a physical body, anchored on the earth. We're not going anywhere. We're just accessing higher states of consciousness into the body, which leads me back to spirit and matter, heaven on earth. That's about creating heaven on earth, right? The Egyptian teachings of Upper Egypt and Lower Egypt, there's two crowns. One is like the vessel. It is like the feminine energy. And then the other one is a cone that comes in. So it's like the papyrus and the lotus coming together. And that cone is matter. Spirit in matter. So when we have this vessel and then we're bringing something into it, it's the same as the masculine and the feminine, the seed and the soil, the plug and the socket, the sun and the moon. It's combining these energies together. It's the physical body and spirit. That's what it represents, right? So when we see these deities with these two dual crowns, right, coming together, it shows that they are in that state of God consciousness, Christ consciousness, source consciousness, fully connected and present, fully in alignment with their divine mission on the earth as an expression of divinity. And that's what we are here to embody in this lifetime. Those of us that feel called on this path. And a lot of us are stepping into leadership positions, and a lot of us are receiving, more experience, more trainings, just opening to new realms of awareness, of learning, and things are showing up now to support you so that you're going to feel it. You're going to feel that inner calling. What is next, right? You're going to feel yourself being pulled to something that's lighting you up. And that's there for you to move in that direction. Okay, where did I leave off here? Microcosm and macrocosm. So that's also a universal law of correspondence, right? So as above, so below, as within, so without, as the universe, so the soul. You are a soul and you are the entire universe. When you move beyond your singularity, you move into the all, connecting to the all. When you move beyond space and time, you become energy. And energy is everywhere, right? It's not just here. Energy is like everywhere. And that is why when we connect in with our energetics, we start to create more magic, more flow, more abundance in our life. So the last card that came out with it is another one that keeps coming out in my readings, which is light language. So light language could be toning, it could be singing, it can be movement with the hands. Like you might you might just feel like doing different, like clearing things with yourself, like I do a lot of different things at different times, and I'm just doing this now because it's coming through to do it as I'm doing it. So you might start feeling some of the movements as I'm speaking and doing the clearing. So you can move your hands through your aura. You can also like touch your body. You can create little symbols, whatever it is that comes through you. But again, coming from a space of clarity and presence, right? And just really being open and not stuck in the mind as you're doing it. It's not a logical thing. It comes through in a flow. So with light language, again, it could be toning and singing, it could be chanting, it could be speaking. And this will help you to move energy, to clear energy, to activate your own energy. And the more you practice it. So if it's something that you've been leaning into and a little bit hesitant, just do it on your own time, in your own space. Maybe, at the end of your meditation, start allowing yourself to just whatever comes through, right? Whatever comes through, trust the process. Trust that your inner divine authority knows what is coming through, knows what you need at this time. So again, you can call in your spirit team for support, really connecting in and just allowing that to move through you in whatever way feels organic. So it says universal language of oneness, of love, and listen with your heart. So I think that's like a core theme for all of us right now. It's like, how often do we listen with our minds? If we can listen with our heart, we start to see the soul and move beyond the story. When we're in our minds, we're always analyzing, or we're like judging or putting a belief or a projection onto someone based on what they're saying. So if we can move out of our mind, anchor into our hearts as we're listening to others, then we're really opening a space of unity, of oneness, of connection. So again, light language, that's also for yourself. Listen with your heart. When you really can come into that stillness, maybe place your hands on your heart, take a few breaths here, center in, come into the space of gratitude, and just practice. Practice the movements with your hands. Maybe dancing is part of the light language as well, because you can dance through energy and encode energy through the movement. Like it can be a whole process somatically with your body. It can be a vocal thing. Uranakaya ranashut turiana siki isi aranate oranaya ayana sheke iaranai o shu. So one thing I can say about light language as well, do you know my first experience with light language was on the tour in Glastonbury, which is said to be the heart chakra of the planet. It's also the site of 7 very powerful sacred sites. I've lived there, and it is so, so powerful. I run pilgrimages there to the sacred sites. There's a lot of energetics with the family, the Holy Family, Christ consciousness. Mary Magdalene's cottage is there, and also Anna, the grandmother of Yeshua. Her energy is very present in Glastonbury. Joseph of Arimathea built the first Christian church of worship with Mary Magdalene there. So just giving a little background, King Arthur's remains and Guinevere are there. The Abbey is there. There's so much there. I cannot wait to go back. Anyhow, I was on the tour, and this is back in 2009. So in 2009, I was there, and 10. So it was one year or the other. I don't know exactly which one, but it was in between that time of the years that I was on the tour, and I was there with a group from Singapore, and there was a man that was leading from Singapore. I was invited into his group to both be on the tour that night and to go to Stonehenge for private access the next morning, which was so powerful, doing very deep Stargate work. And I was on the tour. I'd never heard light language before, other than my teacher in Glastonbury at the time would every now and then, Adone Shianakoi Aranate. Something would come out of her mouth, like at the end of a channeled session, and that was it. But it was never spoken about that it was light language. So we were on the tour, and this beautiful soul, Yantara Jairo, he started doing light language, and it was like nothing I'd ever heard. And he also has the voice of an angel, like his pitch, his tone, his sound. It was really like, yeah, just expanding and opening. So we went around in the circle, and there was, I want to say, between 20 to 30 of us. There were a lot of us in the circle. And he said, okay, just everyone start speaking light language, turn to the person next to you and speak. And we just let what came out of us. And it was very playful and fun. And I remember it being so lighthearted. And that was my very first experience with light language. And I think if we approach it with that state of playfulness, it really helps to lighten it being something serious or something taboo or something foreign, and just really play with the energy of it. And also knowing that if you sing, or, a lot of people are like, I can't sing, but everybody can sing. Everyone has a voice, a God-given voice to share their voice. And when we're out of tune, sometimes I go out of tune, I sing and it's like, oh, and it's like, whoa. But when we're out of tune, when it comes to light language, and it's like we're channeling something coming through to move the energy, sometimes that is like a distortion or a dissonance that's being released out. And it's really helpful because it's just moving it. So if you start to feel like your voice goes off or cuts out, just move through that and just keep moving. Just keep moving the energy, because you will notice a difference and a shift in the energetics when you do that. So I'd love to hear from you if you do try this, if you do the light language, have that experience, and just what comes up for you, how it is for you, maybe what you're feeling. I would love to hear from you in the comments. So please do let me know. So I'm going to pick one ancestor card and see what, oh, that one just popped right out. The card says Roar. I've never gotten this card from this deck. So this is the altar. I'm going to have to sort out why this is happening. So this is the altar. In my next video, there will not be this glare. I think it has to do with the background, which my settings got, there you can see it a bit better. My settings got changed. They keep just changing on their own. I've gone to all the settings, tried to figure it out, still haven't figured it out. So by next video, I'm going to do my best to figure that out. So this is the altar. And the card is Roar, and there's a snake on it. Here, if I just put it in front of my face, it works. Okay, so there's a snake on all of the cards, by the way. So the Roar, I feel like it's like your courage coming through. Have the courage to do the thing that you've been putting on hold. Have the courage to say the words you've been wanting to speak into existence, or having the conversation that you've wanted to have with somebody. Have the courage to do the light language. Have the courage to take that next step. That is what's coming through from your ancestors right now. And then as a final card, we're going to go into the Angelic Activations Oracle deck and just see what message is coming through from the angels at this time and the multidimensional beings. One card, please, Spirit, to support us. There it is, Seraphim. Oh, and it's actually the cover of the deck. How beautiful. So the Seraphim card says divine compensation. I love it. It's like the beginning. It's like the beginning, the abundance card with divine compensation. All the good you have done is blessing your pathway. When you do good, take loving action and share without hesitation. You build a powerful energy field that will protect and guide you on your way. All the generosity and kindness you have shared in your life is now coming back in a miraculous wave of light to lead you toward your next phase. This is the law of divine compensation. And the activation statement is my own goodness attracts good things, opportunities, and experiences. So again, my own goodness attracts good things, opportunities, and experiences. So that is it. Being in that state of gratitude, being in the purity of who you are, the authenticity of who you are, remembering to be kind, to listen from your heart, to be in your heart, and all good things are coming your way. Thank you so much for joining me on this reading this week. And I'd love for you to hit the subscribe button and like the video. And yeah, thank you for joining me on this journey. And I will see you next week. Monday, we have the Monday meditation that's every week. And I will be back again next Wednesday with our weekly reading.